celebrated a really big birthday this year. So I thought, well, I'm not very well travelled, so I'm going to go somewhere that really takes me out of my comfort zone. And I chose India. I'm beginning to wish that I'd gone for Tuscany.
India. This vast subcontinent is home to 1.2 billion people. It's ancient and modern, it's bustling and serene. It's timelessly traditional and yet has one of the world's fastest growing economies. It was, of course, part of the British Empire and therefore part of our history. When I was 5 years old, I did a school project on India and I've been longing to come here ever since. I have to be honest, I'm a little bit scared. Will it live up to my expectations? I've travelled from rural Devon and here I am, over 6,000 miles from home. Starting in the north, I plan to work my way right down to the southern tip, from the dry, hot cities of Rajasthan down to Kerala's sleepy backwaters.
Starting my journey in Varanasi, one of the oldest and holiest cities in the world. There are well over 3 million people here in this very, very small town. And I think they're all in this street today. It's incredibly busy and incredibly hot, and everybody goes about their business, either driving these put-puts for the tourists or in their cars or selling things. And no one seems to crash into anybody else. I'm starting here and I'm meeting someone who lives in this town. His name's Ravi, and he's going to show me round. I've got to find him first, though. A lot of people.
Varanasi, also known as Benares, is the cultural and religious capital of India. This sacred pilgrimage site is said to be the beating heart of the Hindu universe, so it feels like the perfect place to begin my travels.
Ravi, I'm Caroline.
Namaste.
Namaste. Lovely to meet you.
How are you?
Really good, thank you.
How are you feeling, Varanasi?
Varanasi is situated on the banks of the river Ganges, India's largest and holiest river. The river Ganges is also known as Mother Ganga. This river is a goddess to the people of India. To them, it represents life and purity. Hindus from all around the world flock here every day to worship. However, the Ganges is said to be one of the dirtiest, most polluted rivers in the world. Human and animal excrement are discarded into the water and can be seen floating alongside household rubbish, corpses and industrial waste.
So these people are praying in the river, they're bathing. It's very, very important for them. So how many people do that?
Yes. Every day 1,500 pilgrims.
1,500?
Pilgrims as well foreigner tourists come Varanasi every day.
Every day?
Every day they come, they first put oil massage.
Oh, they massage in the morning every day?
Then jump in the water and swim till that ghat.
Swim to the next
Their
gap?
cloth, first they put their cloth there, massage, then walk. After walking, jogging, reach here. Then jump and swimming.
In my mind's eye, I always thought the Ganges was just about religion, but actually it's about sport, it's about health, it's about life, it's about
very
God.
right. You understand
Yeah,
that?
I really get it now, which I didn't understand before.
The river Ganges is the lifeblood of people in India. For many Hindus, it's not just a river, but a way of life. They believe that the river has the power to cleanse the body, wash away sins, and take the soul to heaven. People travel huge distances to cremate their loved ones and to scatter their ashes in this holy water. They believe that this is the only way to free the soul from the endless cycle of life, death and rebirth, allowing them to finally enter heaven.
You saw people were doing ritual with water, pouring water.
Yeah, on their
rising
faces,
sun.
yeah.
Yes, we use Ganges water for the ritual. And we recite 3 slogans, 3 mantras.
Okay.
Yes, like this way. Om Keshwaya Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. Om Narayana Namaha. And fourth time, wash it Om Rishikeshaya Namah. Then start our prayer and ritual. Like this.
What does it taste like?
You know, maybe you don't believe. Suppose my skin cut here. I'm not wanting to put it here something. Just wash in the water, few seconds. You will feel during the washing it crunching like the Dettol, Savlon,
Really?
the water. Yes, yes, yes.
Antiseptic.
Antiseptic. Just 2-3 days you wash in Ganges water, it will cure.
Do you think though, Ravi, that's only for people that live here though and are used to the water? Because because us foreigners, we come here
Actually, madam,
and sometimes we're quite ill.
No, I don't suggest to you,
No.
foreigner, to do that.
No.
Because they are not used to and their body has not used to for the temperature and atmosphere of.
So I won't drink any now.
You want?
Have some chai. No, I don't want. Nice try. Yeah. Yeah. I've got a lot of travelling yet to do.
No. During the travel you have to be careful.
I do have to be careful. My back passage through India.
Yeah.
The water looks filthy to me, but for hundreds of millions of people, the Ganga is the foundation of spiritual and physical life. Varanasi is the most sacred, culturally rich and chaotically colourful place I've ever been to. The poverty is hugely apparent, yet it's an incredibly vibrant and peaceful city. And despite my early fears, it's an amazingly unthreatening place. I'm keen to experience everyday life here, so Ravi has arranged for me to stay with a local family, his friends, and household names on the Indian music scene, Ragini and Deborah Mishra.
When I came here, what I was hoping to do was to kind of see beneath the kind of tourist India and to actually meet some families to get to know how really the place works culturally and family units. And what's great about being here today is I've actually got the privilege of proper insight into family life. I can't wait actually to spend some time with them. They're adorable. I hope I don't nick one of the children. A bit embarrassing, wouldn't it? That little one easily fit in my rucksack. It's divine. Do the gentlemen ever come into the kitchen? Because my husband's a really good cook. Does your husband cook?
Yeah,
He does. Is he a good cook?
but he never cooks for me.
Right. Why not?
Okay.
Why is he not cooking for you?
Because he said if one time if I cook for you, so you said every day that cook for me, cook for me.
And so does your mother-in-law cook with you sometimes?
Oh, my mother-in-law?
Yeah.
No.
She does. You do all the cooking now?
Yeah.
You do all the cooking for everybody? How many people live here?
10.
10. Is that okay? Is it nice to live with everybody?
We live together.
Yes. Yeah, fantastic. I love my sisters, but I don't know if we could all live together all the time.
We Indian believe that guest is like a god. And in which form, in which costume, in which form God will arrive in your home, you never know. So for us, you
Might
are
be
God.
me.
Yeah, you
Thank
are.
you so much. Thank you very much for having me. How do I start? Do I start with this or
And with right finger.
my right finger? Yeah.
Yeah. And you see this is 5 elements.
And is the whole of India, everybody eats with their hands? Everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll be able to for the rest of my journey. Shall I try to eat with my hand?
Sure.
Well,
And
people think that's odd though, with the
no,
Western person.
That's actually the thing. Really, that is you respect Indian culture. You know.
Yeah, okay.
They would really feel, when you are with family.
When I'm living with-
yeah,
yeah,
It's
okay.
really the respect, and if you really want to enjoy India,
Yeah.
you need to be with family.
To join in.
Join in.
Yeah, yeah.
And thanks for cooking.
You're so welcome.
I'm really happy.
You're welcome.
And it's really tastes well. Ragini, you help a bit or you help a lot?
It's okay.
She's okay, no?
Yeah. I had to tell her what to do all the time. It's so difficult.
Later that evening, I head back out onto the river to meet up with Ravi to attend an evening prayer ceremony. The funeral pyres continue to burn into the night. It seems that the Ganga never sleeps. I've come to see the evening's Aarti, which is a daily Hindu ritual where the people of Varanasi offer prayers and thanks to their beloved river.
Hello. Are they for making a prayer? Yeah, can I have 6, please? 6? Yeah. Thank you. That's a lot of prayers I've got to do. Yeah, I will be careful.
During the ceremony, the candles are lit and sent down the river as a personal prayer to loved ones and an offering to God. I've lit 6 candles for my family back home.
Little Sam? What I find so amazing about this is it's a holy ritual, but it's not at all somber because everybody's here and it's like Hyde Park at some sort of festival. Everyone's chatting and talking to each other and taking photographs. And it's kind of really full of life and fun, and there's nothing kind of somber or morbid about it. It's very, very beautiful. And they're praying to Mother Ganges. They're praying to the river. Quite smoky.
I'm sorry to say goodbye to this fabulous place, but tomorrow I leave Varanasi and head out west to Rajasthan. I've dashed down to Delhi to get the train to Jodhpur. I want to cover as much ground as possible in the short time I'm here in India, and the easiest way to get around this huge country is by the infamous Indian railway system. The railways are a cornerstone of everyday Indian life and traverse the length and breadth of the country. It carries over 20 million passengers and 2 million tons of freight daily. Like everywhere else I've been to in India so far, it's heaving with people and animals, and they all seem to be coping with the heat a lot better than me.
Oh, I can't stand any of this. What does it say? What's hot? Platform number... Oh my God, it's going!
May I have your attention?
Oh. Actually know where the numbers are to tell you where your bed is. Sorry. Thank you very much. Thanks. Now, well, I don't really know where I'm going. I hope I know where I'm going. I hope I'm going to Rajasthan, but I don't know where I'm going to sleep because I can't see any numbers on any of the beds. So I don't know where I'm going to spend the night. Slightly disconcerting. Quite crowded. Might have to share a bunk with somebody.
I eventually find my sleeping berth, and as the train pulls out of the station and dusk sets in, I prepare myself for the long 385-mile journey ahead.
The Indian railway system is extraordinary actually, and is the biggest employer in India, employing 2 million people. It's actually the second biggest employer in the world, the largest being the Chinese army, and the third largest is the British National Health Service. It's not really relevant at this point, but I'm quite tired. You might need to know that one day. So yeah, 2 million people employed by this railway system, and not one lavatory cleaner. It's a shocker. Oh hi, yeah, can I have a chai please? I've only got 100, is that alright? Have you got change? I've just bought this little cup of chai for 5 rupees, and basically it's tea, but it's masala tea, masala chai, and it has milk already in it and lots of little spices and loads of sugar. It's absolutely delicious. Very, very hot. It's yum. Getting quite used to it. I suppose, I'm a bit tired. I
spoke to my kids today on the phone as well. I'm a bit homesick really, just missing them. My husband said he was about to sit down and cook them all breakfast, bacon and eggs, and about to light a fire and everything. Just thought about my babies. I travelled 12 hours through the night from India's capital, Delhi, to the city of Jodhpur in Rajasthan. After a rather restless night, listening to the rhythmic snores of my neighbour, the train finally arrives at its destination. Unlike me, the city is still sleeping. Jodhpur, my first stop in Rajasthan, the land of kings. It has a rich and romantic past and was the setting for Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book. As much as I'd love to catch up with Mowgli and Baloo, there's no time, because I'm meeting up with local lady Anu instead. Rajasthani food is famous for its distinctive spicy flavours. I love to cook and eat, so when Anu says she'll teach me a local dish, I practically bite her hand off.
Oh, shopping! Yes. Exciting. For lunch, yeah. That's exciting for me. Wow, this is... Do people ever crash into each other here? Do the tuk-tuks ever come to grief? Oh my God, that was so nearly a crash. Oh my God. Yeah. Hello. Hello, little children. Oh, they darling little children.
Beetroot?
Yeah, I love beetroot.
Yes?
Yeah. Anu takes me to the best food market in town. The sights, sounds and smells are divine, and the simple task of shopping amongst the stalls is a sensory delight.
Ooh. Smells lovely, doesn't it?
This is made up of wheat flour, boiled milk,
Boiled milk
and sugar.
and sugar.
Nice?
No, very nice.
Very nice.
The shopping with Anu is just so exciting because it means I get to see all of those colours and smell those smells and witness some of the things that she sees every day. The only thing I don't like, really, about the local shopping is the streets are incredibly narrow, and although the cows are lovely and very beautiful and everyone says they treat them with huge respect, they're slightly unnerving, and I was okay about them until Anu actually let escape that she's quite scared of them because they have been known to actually lose it. I don't know, they just get bad-tempered, and some of those big bullocks could really frighten you if they came heading down a street at you. It'd be like being in Pamplona, only less fun. It's a bit odd actually having all the cows in the street because back at home in Devon I'm used to seeing cows as ruminants and grazing on really lush green grass, and here they just seem to graze on well, plastic mostly. I've discovered something called paneer, which you probably all know about, but it's new to me, and it's a sort of cottage cheese they described it as, curd cheese really, which you cut into cubes and you eat it in a curry sauce. So I'm going to learn how to do that so I can cook it when I go home, and Anu's going to teach me.
First we'll put the oil.
Lovely. Got quite a lot of oil. What now? What's that? Oh,
Cumin seeds.
cumin, yeah. Oh, it's lovely. It's gone really good orange now, hasn't it?
Yes. Coriander powder.
Oh, okay.
This we need more.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mix that into your yogurt before.
Yes, before.
I think that's where I go wrong because I can taste the dry spice sometimes. Is that green chilli?
Green chilli.
Oh,
hot
okay,
chilli.
yeah.
spinach puree.
In fact, that's exactly the same colour as your... Sorry. So do you always cook to match your clothes? I can hear the train coming in. I came in on that train. I've got previous with that train. The problem I had with the train was that I was sleeping next to a man that was making really unspeakable noises. I'm not used to being surrounded by people I don't know sleeping really, really close to you.
Yeah.
Gentlemen that you don't know, right
You don't like that.
I don't like that. You see, I'd have been all right if I'd have been with you. If you'd have been lying next to me, I'd have been really happy about that. There was a man who was a bit grunty.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, man, I know. Not good, is it?
So it's ready.
It's ready, beautiful. That's
Palak paneer.
Palak paneer. Done. It's very good, isn't it? It's very good.
You know, Rajasthan is famous for food.
Is it?
Yes, Rajasthani dishes.
Really, they're very
Yeah.
famous. I can see
Yeah.
why, actually, because it's completely wonderful flavours. Parakeets at 12 o'clock.
Jodhpur, also known as the Blue City, is a breathtaking blanket of painted buildings. I've never seen anything like it. It's stunning. Blue is the traditional colour of the Brahmin, the highest caste in India. But interestingly, this shade is also said to keep those pesky mosquitoes away. I don't know anything about this beautiful city, but I'm eager to learn. I love castles and forts, so I'm meeting Bozo Singh, nephew to the Maharaja of Jodhpur. I'll be hanging out with actual Indian royalty. Everyone back home will be so impressed.
Our ancestors came here in the 12th century, where it was built by Rao Jodha in the 15th century, hence the name Jodhpur, the town. It was founded by him. And the reasons why they were built was obviously the sign of power.
Yes,
firstly,
yeah.
and, you know,
It is a heck of a sign of power, isn't it?
I
If you're
suppose
going to make a statement, I think this is the one to make.
They did make a statement, and they had to, I suppose, in that time.
Yeah.
And this is where they housed the army. They stayed here.
Oh, the army were here?
The army would stay here
okay.
also, predominantly all the stables, all the army barracks, plus the quarters of the Maharaja and his family. I mean, it was a full working city in a way, more than a house.
Yes, yeah. A sort of city above the city.
Above the city, yeah.
Presumably the city has actually grown enormously.
It's grown incredibly. I mean, you can see it at some point, but the old walled city, which it used to be.
Yes.
And it's obviously exceeded much
And gone beyond the
further
walls. Oh, right, okay.
over the period of time.
Yeah.
As you can see, mostly all these sort of blue houses and white houses that you see.
It's so lovely, isn't it? Look, can you? I know you've known it all your life, but does it still take your breath away?
It does. Every time I'm here. I mean, no matter how many times you see it, there's something about it. You're absolutely right. I mean,
It's
you
completely
cannot.
magical.
It is.
So your uncle lives over there, and he has part of that house. Sorry.
Well,
Is
it
it
is a house.
Yeah.
I mean, we normally call it the shack up on the hill.
Yeah.
It is. You know.
Sorry. The palace. He has half of the palace. Is that right?
Yeah, he has quite a bit of the section where he lives
Yeah.
and his family lives, and the rest of it is all a hotel.
It's beautiful here. Absolutely. It's probably the most extraordinary place I've ever been in my life.
Well, thank you.
Some say the Hamaranga Fort is the most majestic of Rajasthan's forts, and Rudyard Kipling described it as the creation of angels, fairies and giants. And I can see why.
This has been one of the most amazing days of my life.
India is vast, so I'm leapfrogging from one amazing city to the next. I'm in Agra, and I'm on a mission to visit the iconic Taj Mahal. I've seen too many postcards and posters of this monument in my lifetime to miss out on the chance of actually seeing it in the flesh. It's about 350 miles to Agra, beats my Exeter to London commute hands down.
Which your country?
England.
England.
Yeah.
So England is very beautiful.
I love England.
I love India.
We're nearly there yet.
Yeah, banana.
Here, oh great. Will they bring one?
Banana.
Bring on the banana. Do you want a banana?
Yeah.
How many banana? How much
Banana.
is a banana?
Banana, yeah.
Oh, they're nice bananas.
Boy.
We finally make it to Agra and I check into my guest house, run by the charming Colonel and Mrs. Lamba. Annoyingly, the Taj is shut today. However, the delightful Colonel invites me to visit his temple and show me around. Of course, I leap at the chance. You know me, I don't like to miss out on anything. We arrive at the Gurdwara, which is a Sikh place of worship. Sikhism was founded in Punjab in northern India in the 15th century and has the basic principles of service, humility and equality. The temple serves meals all day, which are available for anyone who is hungry, regardless of class or religion. Only 1.9% of India's population is Sikh, but that's over 22 million people.
And this is just cleansing before we go into the temple.
That's a normal.
This is a langar hall where people come up here. This is one of our tenets, that anybody can come up here and without caste and creed they can have a food.
So these people will be eating, they don't necessarily have to pay for their meal?
No, they don't have to pay anything. You just sit there, people will come and serve you. There are volunteers standing, waiting for the people to come up here and sit here. So if this is gone, then the other people will come up. It's a continuous process, morning till evening. Maybe 15,000, maybe 20,000 people eat every day here.
Really? So it's the kitchen's continually feeding people?
It keeps on making it.
Yeah.
See, the hot, absolutely fresh things are made here.
I'm never going to complain about cooking supper for my family ever again. So this is the engine room of the kitchen.
Yes, that's a kitchen. This is behind the curtain. This is what people do. And all ladies come up here. Everybody makes a thing here.
What's this one? Is this roti?
Roti.
Roti. Hundreds of roti here.
Yes,
hundreds and hundreds of roti. Yeah. And then this chap takes them over to
the
oven, is it, or to the hot plate?
Hot plate.
Doing
and then they put the things there, and then they're putting oil in that.
Right.
So that it doesn't get hard. So they put oil into that.
Soft.
It will remain soft. They're expecting quite a few people. Thank you.
All Sikhs have to work, don't they? So
Even if he's cleaning street, he's working.
Yes.
He has to work.
He has to work.
He has to work. You don't have to beg. That is why this community kitchen is there.
Yeah.
If he's not been able to earn so much that he cannot look after his family or something, he can come to the Gurdwara and have a food here, free.
To feed himself and his family.
He can do that.
Up early the next morning, at last the time has come to fulfill my childhood dream of seeing the Taj Mahal for real. Okay, pub quiz time. What was built between 1631 and 1653 took 20,000 people working day and night 22 years to complete. You got it, and isn't she beautiful? Legend has it that when it was finished the workers' hands were cut off so they could never replicate their work. The Taj Mahal is one of the new 7 wonders of the world, built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his favourite wife Mumtaz Mahal, who, as she was dying giving birth to their 14th child, asked him to build her a heaven on earth. Even though it's one of the greatest love stories ever told, an embodiment of eternal love in white marble, this great mausoleum has become the perfect backdrop for tourist photographs.
100? Okay.
This is white croissant is over there.
Oh, look, all right. I think if you make me look tall and thin and blonde on the Diana bench, that'd be ideal.
Was I going to get sucked into it? Of course I was. one ticked off the list. I'm very glad to have visited the Taj, but now I'm quite ready to break away from the tourist trail and leave the madness of the city behind me. Rural India still retains one foot in the past, and I'm keen to experience this for myself. I'm going to meet a man called Thakur Pradyuman Singh. He's the head of a village called Chandalayo, way out in the countryside. So for me, this is a bit like going home because it's out in the sticks, it's rural, hopefully a bit like Devon, a bit green. Lots of animals, some birds, a bit of wildlife, lots of rural people, which is what I like and what I'm used to. Pradyuman Singh's home has been in his family for 18 generations, and recently he's converted it into a heritage hotel. He's typical of many high-status Indians who are struggling to keep their homes since the ruling families lost their power a few years after India gained its independence from Britain in 1947. Chandalayo has a population of just 1,800 people, and Pradyuman is going to take me on a tour of the village to meet some of them and give me a real insight into everyday rural life.
Oh, be careful, little children!
Pradyuman drove me to the town hall, where a daily meeting known as a sabha was taking place. Here the village elders were participating in an ancient custom that might be frowned upon in the West. And believe me, this is a far cry from the Tibetan WI.
This is the village community meeting.
Oh, community meeting, right. And it's only the men?
Yeah, normally it's only the men.
Yeah.
But you can come in.
Thank you. Pradyuman, what are they doing here?
Brewing opium.
Brewing opium?
You can sit here.
Gosh, that's
You can
great. And what's the actual opium look like? Can I have a look at some opium?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It looks like fudge. Looks like a big piece of fudge. Really not for me, thanks. No, thank you very much.
Even though opium is illegal in India, a special exemption is made for traditional opium tea drinking in this area.
Delicious? Is it nice? Nice? Is it? Yeah. Yeah, good. Fortifying. Okay. Make you strong. Yeah. And does everybody like to have a little bit of opium at the...
Yeah, it's like a custom, they have it.
A custom, okay. No, really, thank you. I really don't want to try it. Thank you so much. I really don't think... All right, you okay, yeah. Push it. Ugh! Oh, that's horrible! Yeah, thanks very much. Is this going to be worse?
It's not mineral water.
What is this?
It's local water.
Well, it's better than that. So unpleasant. Thank you very much. That was horrible. So what sort of things are you going to be discussing here?
All development work for the village, social issues. Could be anything. Could be a marriage. I mean, here, of course, it's more of development work and social issues.
But I'm starting to feel quite peculiar, so I can't believe anyone actually does much sort of serious work here, because I'm already feeling quite weird. Well, that's a bit of chocolate now.
Pardon me, you prefer?
Some chocolate. Anyone got any chocolate? I think I might have the munchies. You won't have a lot. Why, because you've got work to do?
I don't have it. I just had it because
we're...
they were there. They expected.
Why don't you have it?
It's addictive.
I could do with some fresh air, so Pradyuman takes me to a stunning lake on the outskirts of the village. This lake is the main source of drinking water for Chandaleo and a magnet for wildlife. Now, this is probably something you don't know about me, but I'm something of an amateur bird watcher.
What's that?
See, look at that kingfisher.
Oh, okay, hang on.
On the wire.
Do you mind stopping? Yeah. Got it. Hang on. Oh, just hang on.
We have two types of kingfishers here.
Yeah.
This white-breasted and the pied kingfisher.
I don't know either of them.
But this is more colorful and more beautiful.
Look at that beak.
Yeah.
It's bright orange in his bill, isn't it? Now, what's that little green thing?
That's the green bee eater.
Oh, wow, yes, I've heard of that. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's so lovely green, that little bee eater. That sounds like a peacock. Hello! Like that, isn't it? What's that?
Exact sound like a peacock.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
And unsurprisingly, the kingfisher's gone. It didn't. Maybe it went on the bus. So we've got, what did you say, painted storks?
See the pink
Yeah, just on the tips of their
tail. Yeah.
tail feathers.
And here they're going to breed because some of them are making nest.
Yeah, I can see someone was nesting
Yeah, on
earlier,
that tree.
actually. Yeah. What's great for me about the way I'm travelling around India, I'm staying in smaller hotels and haveli and bed and breakfast and things and living with families, is I think it's giving me a really different insight into the way things work here. And although it's fantastic to go and see all the great tourist attractions, there's so much more to be found here. And I'm finding that really exciting and a bit of a privilege actually to be allowed sort of into people's lives a bit.
Anand, a small town in Gujarat, is not a typical stop on the tourist trail. But an unusual sort of tourism has brought me here. Gujarat, the birthplace of Gandhi, is a modern business state, and people come here from all over the world seeking help from infertility expert Dr. Naina Patel.
I actually read about this clinic whilst I was back in England, and I'm keen to come and meet some of the women who act as surrogates, because a lot of them are from rural communities, the sort of places that I've been visiting. We've all heard about medical tourism, where people go and have a nose job or a hip replacement in Spain or somewhere like that, but this is the first time I've ever really had any dealings or have even heard about surrogate tourism, where women from a nation will carry babies for couples all over the world who for one reason or another can't actually carry their own children. I'm interested to see, really, I suppose, how ancient rural India is working with modern, technologically advanced India. Thank you.
Dr. Naina Patel, the face of the surrogate industry in India, has offered to show me around the boarding house where many of the expectant surrogate mothers live until they give birth.
This is a baby shower.
It's a baby shower. In the Hindu, we believe that when we do this ritual at the 7th month, we are praying to God that let this lady have a safe delivery and the baby and the mother should have no problem.
Quite comforting actually at this time, I imagine.
This time, yeah, it's
because at about 7 months, the reality of birth starts to come to you, doesn't it?
Dr. Patel knows each of the surrogate mothers personally and monitors them on a day-to-day basis.
Place where they meet up with the family on Sundays, the husband, the children, they come over to meet. Yeah, so there are some more surrogates.
This reminds me of like a girls' dormitory at my boarding school.
Yes, it's like a boarding school. They all eat, sit, drink together and have fun.
Do they talk when the lights go out? Do they chatter after lights out? I bet they do. Yeah. The girls and women that are here have all had babies of their own, haven't they?
Yes.
Before they come.
Yes. Yeah. Because first they would know that what they are entering into. If they have never had been pregnant before or delivered, they don't know what job they are going into. So first they should know that. Secondly, after delivering the baby, the emotional attachment also is important, whether they will be able to give this baby away, though it's not their baby. And third is that from medical point of view, if a lady has had an uneventful pregnancy with no complications, there are very good chances that the second time on also she will have a normal pregnancy and delivery.
When you gave this baby to her parents, was it sad for you?
No, because they are happy.
Well, that's a very beautiful daughter,
Yes.
and I'm sure you do miss her sometimes, but she's very lovely, and I'm sure she's brought a lot of happiness to her parents.
Spending time with these women has been an eye-opening experience for me, and I was moved by the warm, friendly atmosphere and the strong bond these women have with each other. It costs around £16,000 to hire a surrogate mother here. It would cost more than double that in the UK, and the legalities in India are less complicated.
This is the IVF lab and the recovery room. Through IVF, we take the egg of that infertile lady, fertilize with a husband's sperms. We create an embryo in the lab, and it is this embryo that's implanted in her uterus. So it's no way connected to her, not at all her genetic baby.
So this is where the women will have the egg implanted?
Egg retrieval and implant.
Right, yeah. So what sort of women would need to use surrogacy?
Yes, if you see 1 in 6 couple all over the world are infertile, and out of those,
1 in 6?
1 in 6, and out of those, just 3 to 6% of the infertile couples would need a surrogate. The females who are born without a uterus, that we call MRKH syndrome, or who has been hysterectomized, the uterus has been removed, or she is physically incapable of carrying a child because of her medical disorders.
Dr. Patel explains to me that the majority of surrogate women here come from very poor backgrounds, that undergoing a pregnancy earns them life-changing money.
They come from a background where they work as a maid. It's a labor work after all, and they are paid peanuts for that. I would say they would be earning less than $50 a month. And here in a 9 months time, they earn close to $8,000. So that's a big amount for them, an amount which can buy them a house, help for their children's education, and start a small business also. So their life has a total change.
So what's the percentage of twins?
Almost 30 to 35.
And forgive the question, but do people have to pay twice for 2 babies?
No, 25% extra.
That's a bargain. You go for triplets, you get one free. Buy 2, get 1 free.
Triplets are not allowed.
No, aren't they? So quite often people will go home with 2 babies.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
So this is the backup.
Dr. Patel has an appointment to scan a surrogate mum who is 5 months pregnant.
This is Shabnam. She's doing surrogacy for the second time. And the first time she did for an American couple, again for an American couple. This time she's carrying twins. And you can see the heart of the baby, I think, yes, already.
Look at that lively little baby.
Yes.
Look at that. Wow.
Both the babies are really doing fine.
So did this lady have twins before or one baby?
No, one baby.
One baby.
Just one baby.
Now 2 lovely babies. It's a shame that, you know, those women can't carry their own babies, but this is as good as it's going to get for them.
Yeah. At least they will have their genetic baby and they can see themselves in the baby, yes.
It was good to come to Anand to see a different side of India, one which is progressive and fighting against tradition. Because of the legal and financial obstacles involved with surrogacy in the West, more and more people are heading east in the hope of starting a family. Unless surrogacy laws change in the future, India will be the world leaders in this booming industry.
I'm coming towards the end of the first leg of my journey here in India, and I've got the most amazing images in my head. Yeah, the River Ganga at dawn, and then the fantastic religious festivals there in the evening with the candles going down the river. Jodhpur, the blue city, the land of the kings, Rajasthan, which is so incredibly powerful and romantic. What I'm realising is the thing I love best about this place is the people.
Thank you.